Hare Krishna. Again, we'd like to welcome you to our evening katha. We're sitting here beside Krishna Balaram Mandir in front of this beautiful stone painting, inlaid stone painting of the Manasi Ganga pastime. So thank you for joining us. We hope you're all safe and taking advantage of this extraordinary time to increase your hearing and chanting. I know you're increasing your hearing because you're hearing every evening. And thank you for all the encouraging words you give. So today we'll sing a very special Brijbasa song. It's not in any songbook. You may find it on the net, I don't know. But it's in the heart of all of the Brijbasis. But it's the Rashtriya Geet, what is it? National Anthem of Braj. It's like every country has got their national anthem. This is the national anthem of Braj. And we have very sweet Brijbasi melody. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Pavana Radhe Tero Naam, Pavana Sri Vrindavana Dham. Pavana Radhe Tero Naam, Pavana Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada Bihari Lal. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada Bihari Lal. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Govinda Govinda gaoge, prema padarata paoge. Govinda Govinda gaoge, prema padarata paoge. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Manasi Ganga Sri Hari Dev, Girivardhari ki Prakrama De. Manasi Ganga Sri Hari Dev, Girivardhari ki Prakrama De. Manasi Ganga Sri Hari Dev, Girivardhari ki Prakrama De. Manasi Ganga Sri Hari Dev, Girivardhari ki Prakrama De. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana. Jai Jai Radhe Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham, Jai Jai Radhe Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavana Dham. Bolo Sri Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shyam. So again, we thank you all for joining us today in our evening katha. Today we're going to Govardhan. Bolo Sri Giraj Maharaj ki Jai. And we're going to the beautiful Manasi Ganga lake, which is pictured behind me, in inlaid stone on the side of our temple here. So, what happened? Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparandigam Aradhanastranandantai Ridam Yache Punak Puna Srimad Rupa Padambujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripasindhubheva patidanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So toward the middle of Govardhan, there's a town called Govardhan. In the very heart of the town of Govardhan is a huge lake called Manasi, Ganga. It has a very interesting history. One time, Krishna killed one demon named Vatsasur. Vats, you may all know, means calf. Just like in very Sanskritized Hindi, young person we call Vats. Because just like as soon as you see a calf, then automatically Vatsalya Ras comes in your heart. So young people we call Vats. So that demon, he was in the form of a calf, he was Vatsasura. And Krishna realized there was a demon in the midst of them, and he grabbed that demon by his hind legs and threw him around and finished him off. So all the cowherd boys were very happy, but then they said, but now you've done a big pop, you've done a big sin. So Krishna said, what do I have to do to get free from this sin? So all the cowherd boys, they consulted one another. They said, you will have to take bath in Ganga. And Krishna said, Are, Ganga is very far from this place. How I can be away from you for so long? He said, I will call Ganga here by my meditation. And Krishna sat down there in the middle of Govardhan hill, and by his mind means Manasa, by his mind he brought Ganga to that place. So therefore this became known as Manasi Ganga. Very huge lake, very beautiful lake, all temples all around, and ghats on all the corners. So this happened on the dark fortnight of the month of Kartik, means Diwali day. So even today on Diwali, you'll see all the ghats will be covered with beautiful lights. On all the steps of all the ghats, you'll see every corner of Manasi Ganga. Even they float lamps on the water. It's a very beautiful scene even today. Very wonderful lamp festival. So another time, Nandalala, he saw that Ma Yasoda was making all kinds of funny bhojan. Not the regular rice dal, chapati and sabji, but all types of fried things. Like little fried noodles we call sev, little cracker-like things we call matri, samosas, all types of fried things. So they went there and he said, Maya, what kind of funny bhojan are you making today? Can Kis prakar ka vichitra bhojan bana rahi hai aaj maiya? So then Mother Yasoda said, Lala, we're going on pilgrimage. Acha Maiya, where are we going? Lala, Baba wants to take us to Ganga to take bath. Huh? Are, why does Baba want to take us to Ganga? To take bath? Why should we go outside of Braj? And Mother Yasoda, Are, Lala, I'm busy cooking. You ask too many questions. All the mothers are laughing out there. They all know little boys, they ask too many questions. He said, you go ask your Baba. So he went, Baba, why are we going to Ganga today? And Nanda Baba said, last night, Sandilya Rishi came. Just like Vasudev, he's got his guru, Garga Muni in Mathura. Nanda Baba's cool guru, his guru is Sandilya Rishi, the disciple of Gargacharya. Last night, Sandilya Rishi was describing the glories of Ganga. And he described that there was a big black snake who lived on the side of the Ganga. And he had his hole there, and he was coming and going from his hole every day. So one day he came out of his hole, and who was flying overhead was Garud. Now we all know Garud likes to eat snakes. So Garuda swooped down, grabbed him with his talons, and took him up in the air, and the tip of his tail fell down and touched the Ganga. As soon as his tail touched the Ganga, he took on a four-armed form just like Lord Vishnu. And Garud was so surprised to see this four-armed form in his hands. He immediately placed him on his back, and in the self-same body he took him back to Vaikunt. So by hearing this, we got encouraged, inspired, that we should go take our bath in Ganga. But Baba, there's no need to make so much preparation. Ganga's real close by. Why are you making so much preparation? Hey Lala, what are you talking about? Ganga's very far away. All the way there in Sorokshetra? I said, no, Baba, it's just on the side of Govardhan Hill. Alright Lala, what are you talking? You're just a young boy, you don't know anything. No Baba, you come, I'll show you, I'll show you. So Nanda Lala, he took the finger of Nanda Baba. Because the relation of Nanda Baba and Nanda Lala is very, very sweet. As we read in Radha Krishna Ganodesha Deepika that Nanda Baba's beard is salt and pepper. Means he was in his young, not in his young age he got a son, in his old age he got a son. So almost like grandfather. And we know the relation of grandfather and grandson is more sweet. So he took Nanda Baba by the finger and said, come Baba. And all the Brishbasis and Nanda Baba, they came all the way down to the middle of Govardhan Hill, and they saw this beautiful lake flowing there. It was actually flowing at that time. And Nanda Baba said, Are Lala, how do we know this is Ganga? So all the Brishbasis said, yeah, how do we know this is Ganga? At that point, Ganga Devi appeared riding on a magarmach, crocodile. Ganga's Vahan, vehicle, is a crocodile. You know Jamuna's vehicle? Anybody out there? Turtle. Jamuna rides on a turtle, Ganga rides on a magarmach. So Ganga Devi appeared and told Nanda Baba and all the Brishbasis that this Ganga is created by Krishna's mind, so this is actually Ganga. In fact, this Ganga, because it's created directly from Krishna's mind, is 1,000 times more purifying than that other Ganga. So then all the Brishbasis very happily they took their bath in the Manasi Ganga. And Mathura Mahatmya, Rupa Goswami says, when you do Govardhan Prikrama, first you have to take bath in Manasi Ganga. At least sometime in the Prikrama, you have to take bath in Manasi Ganga and then take darshan of Haridev. And on this Manasi Ganga, so many wonderful pastimes have happened. There's one time, the gopis came with big pots of butter, milk, and yogurt, and ghee, and paneer. And like I said, that time it was a flowing river, so they wanted to get across to the other side. So Radharani sent Lalita Sakhi to go find a boatman. So they found one young boatman. He was sound asleep under his chadar. And Lita Saki came and said, Boatman, what do you want? He said, we need to cross the Ganga. And Boatman said, first of all, my boat is very old and leaky. You girls are too many, and your cargo is too heavy. You better find somebody else. I can't go. I'm sleeping. But Boatman, there's nobody else. We looked up and down the Ganga. We looked all up and down the bank. There's no one else. So Boatman said, all right, but I told you. So then, all the gopis got in Krishna in the boat. And the boat began to sail. And our boatman began to row. Suddenly, huge wind appeared on the Ganga. Black clouds appeared, then wind came, then rain came, and waves are there. And our boatman was also rowing his boat in a funny way to make it rock even more, and the gopis were all frightened to death. They didn't know what to do. He pulled out the cork in the bottom of his boat, and water started coming inside the boat, and all the gopis were crying. So then Radharani sent Lalita Saki, tell this boatman to please save us. And Lalita Saki said, boatman, please save us. He said, look, I told you from the beginning, my boat is old and leaky. You girls are too many. And after all, your cargo is too heavy. Unless you don't throw all this milk and ghee and butter and yogurt overboard, we're all going to drown. So the gopis took all their butter, milk, yogurt and ghee and paneer and everything and threw it over the edge of the boat into the water. And still boat is rocking very funny. The gopis are frightened. Water is coming, wind is blowing, waves are coming. Again Radharani sent Lalita Saki, said, boatman, please save us. He said, I told you from the beginning, my boat is very old and leaky. You girls are too many. And besides, you're all wearing such heavy jewelry. If you don't throw all this gold and silver and pearl and diamond and ruby and sapphire overboard, we're all going to drown. So then they took all their gold jewelry and they threw everything over into the Ganga. Still boat is going funny, boatman is rocking it funny, and wind is coming, water is coming, waves are coming. Again Radharani sent Lalita Saki. Said, boatman, please save us. I told you from the beginning. And besides, you girls are all wearing such heavy saris. If you don't throw all these saris overboard, we're all going to drown. And Lalita Saki looked at him and said, look, we got a better idea. We're going to throw you overboard. So at that point, Radharani, she came and she threw herself around the neck of that boatman just like a golden necklace. Said, boatman, please don't make us do this. By now you must have understood who our young boatman is. And Radharani, she felt something hard on our boatman's chest. And she reached inside his chadar and pulled out Krishna's flute. Then all the gopis knew who their boatman was. Then all the clouds went away. He put his cork back. All the wind stopped. The clouds went away. And just like we see in the painting here, they enjoyed beautiful boating pastimes peacefully all around the Manasi Ganga, sailing from one place to the next. So this beautiful place became known as Manasi Ganga. On the opposite shore, we see a big temple tower. That is Chakra Tirth. Because you may not know, but when Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill, he called his Sudarshan Chakra, and it was spinning on top of the hill, keeping all the water from coming. So that chakra came to rest at that place, so that place has been known as Chakra Tirth. And there's a big temple of Chakaleswar Mahadev. Now you would think it would be Chakreshwar, but somehow there's funny rules in Sanskrit, and plus the Brishbasis, they mix R's and L's around, so it's become Chakaleswar Mahadev. And not just one ling, but there's 5 lingas there, and behind the linga there's a beautiful bas-relief of Krishna lifting the Govardhan hill, a very beautiful temple there of Chakleswar Mahadev. And in front of the temple of Chakleswar Mahadev there's a little shrine, that is the Bhajan Kutir of Srila Sanatana Goswami. Because for some time Sanatana Goswami stayed there doing his bhajan. One day we'll hear about how he visited Raghunath Das in Radhakund. And every day Sanatana Goswami used to do Govardhan Prikrama. That was his vow. That even before taking a drop of water even, he would do Govardhan Prikrama. Even in his old age he was doing. So, one day he was doing Govardhan Prikrama in his old age, and this little cowherd boy appeared and said, Baba, you're too old to do this, you stop this now. And Sanatana Goswami looked at him and said, young boy, you talk respectfully to your elders. But Baba, you're too old for this. You don't do this anymore. Look, this is my vow. You talk respectfully to your elders. And that little boy put him on his shoulder and began to run. He said, stop. This is not my vow. Wait. And then that little boy stopped and revealed himself as none other than Bhagwan Sri Krishna Shamsundar himself. And he took a stone from Govardhan Hill. He put his right foot print on it. He put his cowherd boy stick print on it. He put his flute print on it. He had his calf put her print on it. And he said, look, Baba, you just go 4 times around this stone, and that's enough. And disappeared. So that stone, of course, is now in Radha Damodar temple. And devotees like to do 4 times around the deity room. And they do whole Prikrama of Govardhan very easily.
It's on the altar.
Huh?
It's on the altar.
It's in front of the altar. After Artik, then they roll it out and take the cloth off, and you can see the stone very nicely. And Sanatana Goswami, every year there's a festival called Guru Purnima, just like we celebrate Gaur Purnima, but just coming up very soon, around in June or June, I guess, May or June, when it's very hot. It's called Guru Purnima or Vyas Purnima. Now most people in India, we do it on the birthday of our spiritual master, but most people in India, they worship their Guru on that day. So Sanatana Goswami, he was the elder of all the Goswamis. So all the Gaudiya Vaishnava sadhus of Braj used to come every year to visit Sanatana Goswami. And he would take them on Prikrama of Manasi Ganga. Now we all go on Govardhan Prikrama, but there's so many holy places around Manasi Ganga that even Sanatana Goswami used to do Prikrama on that Guru Purnima day with all the devotees. So in 1558, all the devotees came and they yelled out, Hari Bol, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam. But there was no answer from inside the Bhajan Kutir. And they looked inside and they saw Sanatana Goswami has entered the eternal Leelas of Radha and Krishna. So all the sadhus began to cry, all the Vaishnavas were very happy. Hoy, 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 hoy. So this is the very place where Sanatana Goswami achieved Samadhi. They took his body and we know they put it at the lotus feet of Madan Mohan here in Vrindavan. And still every year, that in Vrindavan it is known as Muriya Purnima. Because Muriya in Brijbhasa language, we say in Hindi, we say Mundan. When we shave our head, we call it Mundan. But in Brijbhasa it's called Muriya. So, because everybody shaved their head in sorrow, so that's still known as Muriya Purnima, and thousands, lakhs of people, not thousands, lakhs of people. You can't even get a credit card between the people. In honor of Srila Sanatana Goswami, they do Prikrama of Govardhan that day. And Sanatana Goswami was staying there sometimes by doing his bhajan, as we heard. And we have a water, and we have heat. So who comes if there's water and heat? Mosquitoes. So Sanatana Goswami was doing his bhajan, and the mosquitoes were coming. He said, I cannot do my bhajan. It's too much trouble. So he packed up all of his belongings to leave that place. Not like you with 2 Samsonite suitcases. Lota or kambal, sadhu ka sambal. All sadhu has his lota and his blanket. And one old Brahmin appeared, and said, Baba, Baba, where are you going? He says, too many mosquitoes here, I cannot do my bhajan in peace, I'm leaving this place. So that old Brahmin revealed himself, he was none other than Chakleswar Mahadev. He was going to miss the association of Sanatana Goswami, so he was trying to find out what was going on. Because we know Sanatana Goswami, even in Vrindavan, Sanatana Goswami used to regularly visit Gopeshwar. Because we know Lord Shiv, he's Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, he's the greatest of the Vaishnavas. So even in Govardhan, Sanatana Goswami was doing his bhajan near Lord Shiva, Chakleswar. So Lord Shiva was afraid he's going to lose the association of wonderful Vaishnava like Sanatana Goswami. He said, no, you go back, sit down and do your bhajan. I will go see the demigod in charge of mosquitoes, Mosquito Dev, Machar Dev, and make sure no mosquitoes come to this place. Even till today, no matter what season, it's hot or whatever season, rainy season, you can go to that place. Even to this day, there's no mosquitoes in that place. There's a small little dharmshala there, they'll let you stay for free or whatever you want to give. Right across the street from Chakleswar Mahadev, most beautiful brass Gaurnitai deities are there. I forget the name of the temple, but it's just across the street from Chakleswar Mahadev. So anyway, we heard that one should take bath in Manasi Ganga and take darshan of Haridev when one does Govardhan Prikrama. Even Mahaprabhu followed this system. It's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita that after taking darshan of Govardhan Hill at Kusum Sarovar, he came to Govardhan town, saw Manasi Ganga and took darshan of Haridev. On the southeast corner of the Manasi Ganga, there's a little narrow lane that goes way inside, and you come to this big red sandstone temple with very tall steps. Mahaprabhu went there and he danced in front of Haridev. He danced in so much ecstasy, all the townspeople gathered. They were astonished to see Mahaprabhu was mad in ecstatic love. They'd never seen such ecstatic love of Krishna before. All of the townspeople, they began to think, this must be our Brajendanandan Shyam Sundar, but now he's coming golden hue. And instead of flute in his two hands and a cowherd stick, he's got his sannyas danda and his kamandalu. But this is the exact same Brajendanandan Shyam Sundar, they recognized it. And the priests offer garland and nice reception to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's so amazing when we go there. We dance on that floor that was where Sriman Mahaprabhu danced in ecstasy. In fact, in our temple, on the inside wall of the temple, we used to have painting of this very pastime. Now they changed the pastimes, but we used to have that painting there. So it's said in Braj, there's 4 devs. In Mathura, there's Keshav Dev. In Vrindavan, there's Govinda Dev. In Gokul, we heard there's Baladev. And on the western petal of Braj, there's Haridev. And Haridev is a very beautiful bas-relief deity with his left hand raised high like this, and in his right hand on his waist he's holding a flute. Very beautiful deity is there. So Mahaprabhu took darshan of Haridev. We also take darshan of Haridev, and we dance and have kirtan on that same floor that Mahaprabhu used to dance. What happened, how Haridev came there is interesting, because we heard in the springtime going on now, it is the Vasant Ras Leela of Krishna. So at that time, Krishna disappeared from the gopis, even in the spring Leela. And all the gopis were running hither and thither and hither and thither in mad and ecstatic love. And they gathered on the bank of Manasi Ganga, and they all began to shout, Haridev, 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 Haridev. And suddenly this beautiful deity of Haridev appeared there on the scene. And Radha and the Sakhis, their happiness knew no bounds. With great love and affection, they worshipped that deity. In fact, every day they used to come and worship Haridev with the flowers that they found all around the banks of Manasi Ganga. So this temple, it's quite simple, but it's a huge, imposing structure, very dark, red sandstone from Bharatpur. And this was built in the 16th century by Raja Bhagwan Das of Amber. You all have seen the Amber fort. He built the Amber fort. And his son was Raja Man Singh, who built the Radha Govinda temple in Vrindavan, same red sandstone. And all the ghats around Manasi Ganga were originally built by Raja Man Singh. So Raja Bhagwan Das built this temple. It was neglected for quite some time. And there was very big steps to go up there after you've done a few kilometers of Govardhan Prikrama. We would come there. We'd start from Radhakund or Kusum Sarovar and have to walk up those steps. So somebody made nice, easy steps to go up. They fixed it up and remodeled it very nicely. Otherwise it was very neglected condition, but now it's in very nice condition. Just nearby, Haridev temple, there's Brahmakund. A very interesting story happened. There's one time Krishna and his friends, they were playing all day around Govardhan Hill, and they came to Manasi Ganga and they took their lunch. And we described the other day how the cowherd boys, sometimes they would take a bite of their laddu and hand it to Krishna. Sometimes Krishna would take a bite of his laddu and hand it to the cowherd boys. So Brahma was amazed. The cowherd boy, Krishna's biting the laddu and handing it to the cowherd boy. Every day we offer bhog to our deities. Anybody ever saw the deity eat? You ever saw? We never saw. We have faith. Prabhupada told us, our Guru Maharaj told us, you say these prayers, you put tulsi leaf, you offer to the Lord, and he eats, but we never saw him eat. We just accepted it's Mahaprasad. But the cowherd boys, they were getting, Krishna's biting the laddu and handing them, they were getting Mahaprasad right from Krishna's mouth. Real Mahaprasad. So Brahma was thinking, how can I get some of that, But he's Lord Brahma, the engineer of the universe. How can he come there and beg from Krishna like that? Like the cowherd boys, they're all in different breasts. So Lord Brahma, he's thinking, how can I get that? So he thought that he was very clever. So there was a little kund there, so he became a fish in that kund because he knew after Krishna eats, then he'll go to that kund and wash his hands, and the little fish will get the remnants off of Krishna's finger. But Krishna's in everyone's heart. He knows everyone's thinking. So he understood what Brahma was thinking. So then Krishna came to that kund, and with his left clean hand, he took water out and washed his hand over the dirt like this. Because if you want to get Braja Prem, if you want to get that Krishna's real mercy, you have to become follower of the cowherd damsel, the follower of the Brijvasis at least. So we're very fortunate. How is it that we've come here to Braj? It's only by the mercy of our divine spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He's the most dear Brijvasi.